Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here, and Puerto Rico's electric failure following Hurricane Irma, Juan, and Maria has proven something many of us have been warning about for a long time. A centrally planned cashless society is incredibly hazardous in the event of a power failure. According to Zero Hedge, when Hurricane Maria knocked out power in Puerto Rico, residents there realized they were going to need physical cash and a lot of it. Bloomberg reported yesterday that the Fed was forced to fly a plane load of cash to the island to help avert disaster. William Dudley, the New York Fed president, put the word out within minutes, and ultimately a jet loaded with an undisclosed amount of cash landed on the stricken island. A business executive in Puerto Rico described corporate clients' urgent requests for hundreds of thousands in cash to meet payrolls and the challenge of finding enough armored cars to satisfy endless demand at ATMs. Such were the days after Maria devastated the U.S. territory last month, killing 39 people, crushing buildings, and wiping out the island's energy grid. As early as the day after the storm, the Fed began working to get money onto the island. For a long time, unless one had a hoard of cash stored up in one's home, it was impossible to get cash at all. 85% of Puerto Rico is still without power as of October 9th. Bloomberg continues, when some generator-powered ATMs finally opened, lines stretched hours long, with people camping out in beach chairs and holding umbrellas against the sun. In an earlier article from September 25th, Bloomberg noted how without cash, necessities were simply unavailable. Now there's one issue with this story. It's undercutting the far more serious concern under a cashless system. As we often say, if your money's in the bank, it's not yours, it's the bank's. And if your money's always going through the banks via legal tender laws and centralized digital transactions, it's never yours, it's always the bank's, and you're essentially enslaved entirely without recourse to the government and the banking system. Right now we see China, India, Australia, Sweden, parts of Canada to a large extent fall into this cashless paradigm as the IMF pushes to implement centrally planned cashless into the SDR special drawing rights world currency. In fact, Treasury Secretary Mnuchin just threatened to cut China off of the US dollar over North Korea, which would play right into China's playbook, as countless countries around the world swap out of the US dollar for other currencies. The IMF actually announced recently that they are looking to move to Beijing, China over the coming years. The power is shifting, and it's shifting into a far more volatile, dangerous system where your every transaction is tracked and you have no ownership of your so-called money. As the Fed tries to raise interest rates to drop it out once the economy inevitably falls, they cannot accomplish success, and rates will go negative. So the global banking system is desperately trying to implement their global centrally planned cashless system as soon as possible because it's their last recourse, and it'll be an epic rise of the global central banking cartel like the world has never seen before. Ron Paul, who I interviewed in July on the cashless system, called this story out on Facebook today as well. He said, and I quote, "Big Brother authoritarians have been salivating at the prospect of a cashless society for a while now. Things are certainly moving in that direction. Imagine the possibilities if they ever achieved their goal. Government would be able to obscure every single transaction that is made and the parties making them. It's the ultimate economic invasion of privacy. Let's say government wants to bail out one of its corporate friends. Will you log into your bank account to find that they gave you a haircut in order to save their too-big-to-fail cronies? What if you want to donate to XYZ, but the regime in power doesn't like XYZ? Will they turn off your ability to donate? What if government doesn't like your health habits and blocks your payments to certain food vendors? The possibilities for authoritarian control are endless in a government monopolized digital currency society. That's why the pom-poms have been out cheering it on. Even the most recent Nobel Prize winner in economics is a fan of no cash. Of course, Dr. Paul is talking about Richard Thaler, who is one of many Nobel laureates to come out in favor of a cashless society alongside Joseph Stiglitz at Davos. Ben Bernanke praised Kenneth Rogoff's book, The Curse of Cash, as well. A complete breakdown by a globalist who gives people a view of how they will implement a global cashless society. Of course, the rise of bail-in regimes across the globe is another example of the implementation of the cashless system, as they can just steal everything out of your bank account as a depositor and you have no way to get it back. You can't have a run on the bank in a cashless society. This isn't Bitcoin, this isn't cryptocurrency, it's centrally planned and printed into oblivion like fiat, creating vast amounts of debt and inflation on a global basis. So the electric grid going down is not even close to the core problem here. As for Puerto Rico, they've been bankrupt for a long time, and their heavily government-controlled system failed the individuals who remained on the island, as massive numbers of people have fled. The outdated government electric system has gone down, and it's no surprise. We just send all the love we can to Puerto Rico and hope that they as individuals can build from the bottom up once more. Thanks for watching, everyone. Check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We can't do it without you. Any donation is very much appreciated, especially as we're so vastly demonetized and censored by YouTube as the ADL comes in and flags all of our content as hate speech. You could also check our Bitcoin address in the links below as well as on the screen for you to scan if you please. And also check me out at Josh Sigurdson at steemit.com. That's steemit.com, the future of social media as dinosaur social media digs its own grave. On Steemit, you get paid in cryptocurrency, Steem that is, for your upvotes on your post. It's an incredible innovation on the blockchain, and I hope to see you there. But until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.